that time you don't need motivation or anything. Nothing. Up until now. Like, just waking up this morning was so hard. Pero parang, I wrote down the poem that I wrote yesterday, and the title was just try. So I was talking about how life was so hard, and then like when she passed and then everything, and then but today I decided to open the curtain. Today I decided to drink my coffee differently. Today I decided to smile, something like that. So parang, at least I don't know what's gonna, because I'm such a person who I have a routine and I have a plan in life. But like since she died, literally nothing. Like parang I just go with the flow of life. Like I used to be so full of, well, maybe I am still full of wisdom and you still have so much in you. But then you kind of felt dead inside also. Like parang, how can someone's death affect so much on a person? Grabe. Like the love that we have for each other is, I don't know, it's like it's so unconditional. It's so hard to explain. I was saying that maybe it's like agape love, like a universal love. Like it's the type of love you have for someone that it reflects through what you do, and people sees that. And they when she died, a lot of people cried for me, and that's when I realized that the love we have for each other was so genuine. The support that we have for each other was so genuine that when she died, yes, I cried, and I saw other person cried, and like, why are they crying? They're not the one who lost someone, but they was there, and they felt the connection you both had. That they felt that they lost the same person that you had in your life, and that's when that's the real influence. That's real love. That's real power, and it's crazy. But yeah, grandma though, so simple of a woman. Literally nothing. She didn't want anything. She just said, finish your school. I don't want anything from you. I don't care if your grade's 75 or like 100, whatever. Just finish your academics. And yun nga, inintay niya lang up until I graduated in college. And she saw after that I'm slowly getting my life together. Like, I was telling her that, oh, I'll go there. I got this place. I got these things. And then I think I got home many times that I was like treating my family out. We were going on a vacation. And that kind of made her feel that, oh, she's okay with her life. And that kind of made her feel like, maybe I can rest now. So parang, I was telling myself, a week before she died, I was talking to my partner. I was like, am I selfish for wanting her to leave because I will miss her? But then I'm seeing her struggling. But then at the same time, I was her reason to leave her. It was so obvious. She waited for me to go home one day. She waited. I arrived 2 in the morning. I arrived because I was attending an event. It was a pageant. I was one of the guests. And then I got home. It was so far from where I live na parang nagpahatid pa ako doon when they booked me a hotel. And I said, no, can I please go home? And they said, okay, mom, don't worry. They drove me home. I got home 2 in the morning. And my mom, my auntie, I call her my mom. She was talking about, your grandma just asked me today what's my name. She was forgetting people's name. 2 a.m., I got home. She was laying down. She saw half of my face and she said, Nene. She started crying. She forgets everyone except me. So crazy. Yeah. And then I was like, hi, hi. And then I was giving her a hug and a kiss. She was crying. She was crying. I wanted to cry, but instead I can't. I'm so jolly. I was like tickling her. I was so on because I can't cry. I can't cry. I can't show her that I'm weak because how can I let her go if I'm weak? So yeah, and then that morning, 5 a.m., I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep that night too. Though I had 3 days work, sunod-sunod, I wasn't able to sleep. And I couldn't sleep. And then I asked her 5 in the morning. I said, what do you want to eat? And most of the time, she don't request. She don't. I have an attitude like her that we don't know how to ask. It's not that we don't know, we feel shy. So kung anong meron, yun lang, tanggapin mo yun. Be grateful for what you have on the table. And first time I asked her, what do you want? She said, Nene, I'm craving for lechon. I was like, wow, alam ko ng umaga. Sabi ko, makaka-high blood naman tong gusto mo, Lola. But then she never asked for anything. So I was like, you know what, I'll go to the town. I went to the bayan. I was alone. Everyone was sleeping. They're all worried because I went to the bayan alone. I went there, I bought lechon. And then this famous parang kainan sa amin. And I got the famous cuisine kasi doon, yung pagkain doon, we call it nilagpang. It was like sabaw with like it's a broth, like there's, yeah. So I got that also, and then I got adobo na native chicken. When we got home, I bought so much that I invited everyone. We all had breakfast together. And then I asked my mom, when was the last time grandma walked? She's like, matagal na. She's been bedridden for 4 months before pa nun. So I was like, can we put her on a wheelchair and then I'll walk her sa ilog? They're like, oh, okay. So we put her in the wheelchair and then I was pushing her dun sa ilog. And then we got there and then she was like, let's go home. I was like, wala pa nga 5 minutes. Sabi niya, my stomach hurts. Parang, sige, wait lang. So we were there, pinapainitan ko siya kasi like it's so early. They said it's healthy now. So I walked back and then my mom was like telling na parang, kausapin mo yan si lola mo. She keeps saying that she's tired. So parang, I was like, okay. I was about to cry. And I was like, anong ginambal? Anong sinasabi mong pagod ka na? Ha. I was joking to her. I was telling her na, you know, I have pageant next year. You're gonna leave me? Like, I don't have my mom and my dad. Tapos iiwan mo pa ako? Then she looked at me and she cried. And that kind of gave me a reason, like, that kind of was like the hint for me that she's tired. She's trying, but she's tired. Tapos sabi ko, I'll get the paper. I will make a MOA. You sign this, that I'll come back next week. I said, I'll come back next week. We eat your favorite restaurant. And she said, she looked at me. Took her more than 2 minutes to say yes. So I was like, come on, not now. I'm not ready. Tapos I was telling her, basta next week I'll go home, ah. She's like, okay. Next week, ka? Okay. So I was giving her a kiss, I was giving her a hug, saying I love you. I do that ever since I was a kid. I have such a, I'm so thankful the way I think. Because whenever I see people and I say goodbye to them, I act like as if I'll never get to see them again. So when that day I gave her that kiss and I gave her that hug and I said that I love you, it's the same as the usual. Like I never meet her again. And I'm thankful that I did that. Because imagine it was so casual. I would have regret. So I got in the van because the driver arrived. And then as the van was leaving, I opened the window. I opened the window. I was like, I love you. And then she looked at through the window. She said, I love you. Up until yung car, pawala na sa window. And I was still screaming, I love you. And I could see her through the windshield and she was smiling. And then I got in the airport. I arrived in Manila. I wasn't able to message because we had shoot that day. A lot of happened. So I wasn't able to call her. But like before the live, my auntie sent me a photo of her and she was in a wheelchair and she looks so weak. Like the same video they sent me. And before the live, I was so sad. Like I was like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? You know what? Finish this and you're gonna be fine later. And then we went there and then I was so excited to call because I was to check. And then that's when they called, like she's gone. And like the whole day I had a feeling that maybe she's tired. But come on, you got this. So I was telling myself, is it selfish of me wanting her to leave but seeing her suffering? So I was like, what would she want me to do? But it's still hard. But yeah. She was so selfless. I gave her that teddy bear. And then I said, I got home. That teddy bear was with me for 2 months. And I kept telling myself I give it to her. I named the teddy bear Ola because it was a koala. And that's for me to realize that it sounded Lola also. But I named it Ola. And then I got home. I went home many times in 2 months. And I keep forgetting it. And that last time I went home, parang nasa bed na siya agad. So parang nilagay ko na lang din sa maleta. And then when I got home, I said, I gave it to her at 2 a.m. I said, this is teddy bear to, ha? Like, this is mine. Every time I call you, dapat katabi mo to. Like, dapat katabi mo siya the whole time. Tapos sabi niya naman, sige. Sabi ko, mamaya, pag nag-call ako, dapat katabi mo. Sige. So that whole day na nagsisend sila ng video and photo of grandma before she died, she was holding it. And then my mom said that just before she died, she was holding it. So like it was just next to her but she died. And I told her to don't let it go. And she never did let it go. And then she was like, before she died, she watched the live. And then she was asking my auntie about how's Nene. And even on her last breath, I just know I was still her last thoughts.
This podcast is powered by Gel Life by Crystal. Unbox the glow within.